Allianz Arena, Stade de Nice, round 2 of the Rugby World Cup, live on Radio Wales, BBC Sounds and 5 Sports Extra. I'm alongside Josh Navidi and Nicky Robinson. The Portuguese will be playing from left to right. Green shorts, white socks, white shirt, and then Wales in black with bright yellow trim, and they'll go from right to left. Blue sky above us here on the Côte d'Azur. There was thunderstorms earlier this afternoon, but it's a cool, breezy, late evening here in the south of France. And on the far side of this glorious stadium, there are thousands of red shirts, some belonging to Welsh, some belonging to Portuguese fans, and it's a carnival atmosphere, and we're about ready to get underway. This is rather special, Nicky.
It was. It gave me goosebumps actually seeing the Portuguese players, the tears and the emotion, really singing their anthem, and it was loud in the stadium, playing in Portuguese. Here there'll be lots of French supporters who will be supporting Portugal as well. 13 out of the 15 starting, playing their rugby in the French second division. So plenty of local support for those players as well. But it's great atmosphere, same as last week. Will we get the same emotion as last week? Let's hope not. And there's a bit calmer for us all in the commentary box.
Oh, it's pretty amazing there. The anthem, a lot different to last week's, a lot louder, and then the Viking clap started straight after it. It's pretty special here. Just ready for kick-off now.
Last time, they made a complete mess of the countdown. Let's see if they get underway this time. Indeed, they do. Portugal go deep, and it's well taken by young David Jenkins on his own 22, 20 years of age. Exeter lock. Another Exeter second row. Chris Chunza carries out of his own 22, and Wales will look to clear their lines. First minute here in Nice. Thomas Williams on his 50th cap. Sticks it high in the air, good chase. And Rio Dyer competed in the air and got it back for Wales. Thomas Williams, Anscombe, Mason Grady to Lee Halfpenny. Crabbing a little bit are Wales. And Halfpenny slightly isolated, keeps the ball alive. Jack Morgan carries and leaves it to Dewi Lake. Anscombe, Dan Lydiat, the evergreen 34-year-old, on his own 10-yard line. Anscombe in two minds, defended by two Portugal forwards. Wales have lost a bit of momentum, trying to work some numbers on the near side. The power of Mason Grady up to the halfway line, 5 metres in. Thomas Williams snipe, then gets it away to Faletau. Faletau just keeping inside the tram line, does well not to go over. Williams to Nicky Smith, over halfway. All Wales possession, 1 minute 20 on the clock. Thomas Williams, Anscombe, Johnny Williams, Mason Grady in his own half on the arcing run, almost broke the tackle, and Portugal are hanging on here and hanging on to the ball, and they get a penalty. 1 minute 40 played, all Wales possession, but it's Thomas Appleton, the skipper, who gets the turnover penalty for Wales.
I think that'll really frustrate Warren Gatland and his coaching side. Wales overplaying around the 50, don't mind having a couple of goes and having a look, but when it's not on, the ability to put your foot on the ball and put a box kick up. Okay, giving possession away, but Wales didn't really look as if they're going forward. A couple of nice offloads, but instead there was a few opportunities for Portugal to get it, and once they lost their shape, it gave Portugal a chance to get the turnover.
This is what we spoke about before the game. It's just giving away cheap penalties. We want to be playing deep in their half, not in our own half, and now they're going to kick and probably kick to the corner, and obviously they're going to look to drive it.
I'm really surprised at how much Wales did play there, because I'm sure the message wouldn't have been to keep playing around there, because exactly what you're going to do is give Portugal a chance to go in the 22.
Front ball for Portugal. Tadja, the hooker, comes back in. Lovely pass back inside to Marta, the left winger. Danger signs for Wales. They're defending in their own 22. 3 minutes played. It's Portugal on the attack. Big tackle in midfield. And now Marquez, the experienced nine, will look to bring the forwards. They're all bunched in one big cluster, losing his shape a little bit. Big carry by the number 8, but a big tackle on Simosh by Falatau. Appleton. Good patterns out wide. Advantage coming. Step back inside by Sousa Getch, the full-back. Pick and go by Portugal. Advantage being played. Referee Carl Dixon has called it. Dummy runner. Portela drops it. Appleton. And surely we'll be coming back in a second to this advantage. Marquez sniping on the touchline. Big shot in by Dewi Lake. Back we go.
Number 12 offside.
4 minutes played. No score. BBC Radio Wales, BBC Sounds and Spy Sports Extra. Wales 0, Portugal 0.
It was a really nice play off the line-out actually, Portugal. They brought their left winger in right through the middle of the line-out. It was good defence by Wales that stopped them. And after that, Wales looked pretty comfortable, Josh, didn't they? Portugal were going one-out runners, and they never looked to be stretching Wales. And that was a disappointing penalty to give away an offside penalty when basically the defence is in the ascendancy.
Yeah, just in that play there, Wales looked comfortable in between the 15s. That the Portuguese team were just trapped in between the 15s, so it is no space to play to. So Wales can defend narrow, and it's comfortable just defend at one-up runners as well. And there's big shots coming from Mason with the choke tackle as well. But I think this is where we don't want to be, is giving away penalties and easy points for Portugal. But you know, Portugal are going to bring a lot of, well, sneaky line-outs and something that we haven't seen from them. So we just need to be wary of that, because the first line-out they've run is a sneaky line-out.
Well, Marquez has missed with a relatively easy penalty shot, 15 metres in from the near touchline on his right foot. So 5 minutes on the clock. And the supporters on the far side, hands above their eyes. The peaks of their caps dropped because the sun is beating into their faces. The majority of the field, apart from 6 or 7 metres on the far side, shadowed by this glorious stadium, the Allianz Arena. Anscombe with a restart. Taken by Bellew. He was the lace change for Miranda for Portugal. Portugal who will play for Shaw. Simosh, the number 8. Sousa Getch out wide. Jack Morgan bumped off the tackle by his opposite number, Matt Inch. He's a very good player. Marquez spills it, turned over, and Lewis Rees-Zammit was about to go away, offloads it, and Portugal intercepts. Matches all over the place. Thomas Williams gathers in his own 22, under pressure by Marquez. He does well. And now Wales have possession. There are numbers there to exploit by Wales, but gents, you're almost telling Wales to calm down a little bit here.
Yeah, I thought Zammit was away, got the intercept. Wales got a turnover, the intercept. Portugal will play like Wales did around that halfway line. Does give Wales a chance to turn the ball over and to attack, but they nearly threw it back to Portugal, nearly went through as well. So it's a bit of calm now. Wales in the 22. I'm sure Thomas Williams will keep this on the park again and get that chase up.
Good box kick, Thomas Williams up to the halfway line. Well taken by Portela for Portugal on halfway, 5 metres in. Experienced forwards carrying. Alves.
No.
All of the front row, based in France.
Please.
All 30-somethings. Chip kick by Marquez, taken by Appleton. Brilliant play, and he's up to the 22 more or less for Portugal. They will play, won't they? And here's Sousa Getch. Dances past one defender. Held on to is Anscombe. Portugal will pressurise the defence. This time is Mata, the left winger. Marquez back in. Driven back is the number 8. Simosh. Again, Portela breaks. Wales under pressure early doors here. 7 minutes played. Crossfield kick. Charge down. Rio Dyer has it in space. Watch out, here he goes, but he's likely isolated. Wales coming down the short side to Johnny Williams. He's got Mason Grady alongside him. Grady crashes back inside over the 10-yard line. Dan Lydiot joins the fray. Thomas Williams playing fly half. Anscombe, Nicky Smith, loads of space out wide if Wales go on the halfway line. Thomas Williams Great take, Jack Morgan. Morgan breaks one tackle. Lewis Rees-Zammit in space. Grab the kick through, needs the bounce. Gets the bounce. Fantastic opening try for Wales. They work the numerical advantage. Jack Morgan with the feet. Lewis Rees-Zammit with the catch. The little grubber kick and the finish. And Wales go first here in Nice. And it's a very, very neat try.
Yeah, really good play for Wales. Actually, Portugal looks to be creating things. Marquez with a lovely chip over the top. But then Portugal got impatient. They've tried to grub a kick, and then Rio Dyer picks the ball up, and Wales go from there. That's the time when they can go. And Portugal are in disarray. And it was Jack Morgan. Actually, wasn't a huge amount on. A great take. And then the draw and give to Zammit. And that is a lovely bit of skill. The grubber kick through, perfectly placed, so bounced straight back up into his hands. I'm sure he'd have hoped to get some tries against his Portuguese side, and he's taken his first opportunity there. Really good play from Wales. Obviously, Portugal have brought plenty, but Wales have taken that one chance they've had so far.
That's when we can look to hurt them on that turnover ball, because they're going to be out of position, the defensive line is disarray, and that's when we can get on the front foot. The speed of ball there was outstanding, and then just the play out the back to get it to the edge, and Jack Morgan giving that nice pass to Zamo, just a little grubber through, and nice little finish from him.
Yeah, it was nice from Johnny Williams, wasn't down the left. He combined with Mason Grady, whose power run stayed in field, and then there's that quick ball, ruck after ruck.
10 minutes have passed here in Nice, and ever dependable Lee Halfpenny adds 2 points. Wales 7, Portugal 0.
Yeah, just what we need now is complacence to put the ball back down the park and build from there, because we know Portugal are going to make mistakes. We get that turnover, and it's how quickly we can turn that turnover into speed of ball and the way we play.
Portugal, I hear it's a party, aren't they, Nick?
They're going to play, and then they've shown already they can create opportunities. They know their back three is explosive. Obviously, Marquez at 9 has got the experience, and he's shown that already. But it's what Wales can do when they get the ball back from Portugal, and that's what they've shown there, how dangerous Wales can be.
5, no more now, 5. No more. Thank you.
Francisco Fernandes carries all 38 years of him. His partner Tajer, one of the front row union. Now Portugal have lost shape on the halfway line, and the inspirational captain Thomas Appleton runs into Dylan Lewis and Chris Chunza. Marquez gets his forwards involved and shapes up to kick to put pressure on Thomas Williams, who waits in the backfield. Not the best kick by Marquez, so it's a bit of a lottery, and it ends up with Garth Anscombe. Lydiot lobs it out wide to Mason Grady. Grady to Lewis Rees-Zammit. Held again by Marta. It's going to be a good battle out wide. Marta against Lewis Rees-Zammit. Both good finishers. Anscombe dancing in midfield over the halfway line. 7-0, 11 minutes played. Radio Wales, BBC Sounds and 5 Sports Extra. Frantic start to this game. David Jenkins carries into the Portuguese defence, softening a little bit. Anscombe, Dewi Lake, big solid tackle on him in midfield, right in the centre of the field, on the centre circle if it was football. Lewis Rees-Zammit looking for work, left-footed grubber kick. Portela isolated, no option but to clear over the far line, touchline, and that's an attacking Wales line-out. Wrexham have beaten Grimsby by 3-0. Good news.
Must have heard you say the word football, Gareth, because Lewis Rees-Zammit, he was in midfield. You don't often see him in the middle of the park, do we? He tends to be one of those wingers that stays out wide and put a lovely little left-footed kick through, and there was a bit of space.
Should I stay with a football analogy?
Go on.
If you're thinking of kits, Wales, Borussia Dortmund, Portugal, Werder Bremen. 2 German.
He lost us a bit here. He definitely lost Josh next to us.
Green and white against black and yellow. Wales driving more. 50 metres out, just approaching the touchline. Thomas Williams snipes down the blind side. He was completely isolated, and wrong call there really from him. because he's a talented player, but he's not superhuman.
Yeah, I think Rio's gone infield there, and Thomas looking to come down the blind on his own, expecting Rio to just draw and give the man, but he weren't there.
No, he got up from the floor, looked at Rio as if, where were you, pal? I thought I was going down the blind side, but yeah, there was a good blind side to attack, but you need the winger with you. He got there, he nearly got the offload, but it just slipped out of his hands. But, yeah, disappointing, because then obviously the miscommunication there between him and Rio Dyer. That's a nice place to attack, and I think Wales would want to keep these opportunities, even if they don't score, but make Portugal defend for 4, 5, 6 phases, especially when you get to the 22, and that was a little error, a little bit frustrating.
This will be interesting now, first scrum of the game. They got a 38 on the loose head, so let's see how he keeps up throughout the evening.
This is there, you'd hope to see Wales dominate, Josh. This is with the front row that we've got, between Nicky Smith.
Well, they've got a lot of experience in that front row, 38-year-old and 2 34-year-olds, so I think that, well, it's gone straight down here, but...
So it's Francisco Fernandez of Bezier,
too low, a little bit higher.
Mike Tadia,
Okay, we'll have a look.
and Anthony Alves.
Still again, quick
Welcome,
reset.
listeners in the Newport area. 1-1 draw
Quick reset.
between Newport and Barrow. It's BBC Radio Wales, BBC Sounds and 5 Sports Extra. 7-0, 14 minutes here, played in Nice.
Now, when you look at the front row with that age, you probably think they're going to be more set-piece orientated than add a huge amount around the park. I mean, they've been fine so far, but let's see how the scrum goes.
Set!
They've got a good hit there, Portugal.
Penalty, Marques takes it quickly. Portugal look to counter-attack from deep, and they have an opportunity. And here's the full-back, Sousa Getch. Mata alongside him. Portugal up to the halfway line. Far touchline. Flat carry for Martins. He gets it away. Great play, wonderful uploading by the Portugal back row. Wales under the pump. Numbers here for the Portuguese. Carry inside is Lima. Mata knocked on, turnover. Nicky Smith with a lovely offload to Rio Dyer, steps back in field, wriggles out of a tackle, up to halfway.
Come left here.
Come left, says Josh Navidi. Thomas Williams listens. Johnny Williams almost breaks a tackle, over halfway. A metre in. Thomas Williams, David Jenkins, backdoor to Anscombe. Dewi Lake with a power carry. Wales getting numbers out wide. Gareth Anscombe spotted a prop against him, went for the chip kick, but it's back in Portuguese hands. It's on now. Wonderful step out. Sousa Getch has some support from Martins. Martins foot thrown against Faletau. What a tackle by Faletau. And went for the turnover, and Wales get possession. And once again, not for the first time in his illustrious career, Taulupe Faletau comes up with the goods for his country.
As soon as Taulupe Faletau was chasing, he thought he's never going to get away. Faletau's too good an athlete. Wonderful scramble play from Wales, and Rio Dyer to get back and get the ball.
Thomas!
And Wales can breathe. Thomas Williams heavily involved. And here's that man again, Sousa Getch in midfield, told to kick it. He says, steps in and out, but he's sacked by Chunza, and he's isolated.
Great jackal it.
And it's a jackal, Jack Morgan, and that's the danger when you want to play and overplay.
Yeah, that was a great tackle by Chris Chunza. He's got him to the deck early, and you can see Jack just lingering around, and he's straight on that ball, and it's a nice little penalty here, and we go straight to the corner.
Yeah, then just to go back to the break that Sousa Getch made, it was Gareth Anscombe probably going too much on his own. There was space out wide, he's tried the chip over the top, didn't get it, and Sousa Getch gets it, goes through, and you think Portugal going to score. And I mean, Josh, I can't think of any back rower that Wales have had in the last 15 years with the speed or the fitness of Josh Navidi, can you? Of Taulupe Faletau to get that.
If you had your money and you wanted someone there, you'd put it on Toby chasing him down. And
what I like most about him as well in the chase is that he doesn't even tackle early. He waits till he gets within striking distance and drags him down perfectly. The technique is superb. Attacking lineouts. Chunza, front ball. Dewi Lake hits him. Driving ball over the 22. Jack Morgan breaks. Rolls out of a tackle. Looks for support. He's 7 metres out. 2 metres in from the near touchline. There's a Portuguese body in there. Was he offside? He's disrupting things all the same, and it's been turned over by Marques. Portugal from underneath their own post to Appleton. They will attack, and they're playing with fire. So eventually Sociagech bangs it away, and it's over the touchline. That's a good clearance. They are worth the entrance ticket, Portugal, aren't they?
Yeah, we thought that with Fiji last week. It's different today with Portugal. They're playing loose. They want it as open as they can, and they're turning the ball over. It's funny when you play sides like Portugal, you see Derry Lake goes through, or Jack Morgan went through, thinking that they'll get the ball back, and somehow Portugal get numbers in, then slow it down. So frustrating for Wales, but great defence on Portugal.
Wales line out functioning well. Johnny Williams back on the angle over the halfway. Pick up by Rio Dyer, looking for work, gets it away to Chinza. Oh, what a dummy by him! He's some athlete. To Thomas Williams, ball in one hand, crunching tackle. Marques blindsided, his opposite number. Still Wales. Nicky Smith on the blind side. We were entertained in the Fiji game. This is certainly the same. And now Portugal look to go from deep, get it away, but they're overplaying, and Dylan Lewis somehow gets possession. Breathless stuff here. And 20 minutes played, still only 7-0, but we could have had 3 or 4 tries for both teams, and it's a penalty against Wales. Wales 7, Portugal 0, 19 and a half minutes played.
I'm trying to keep up with who had possession, who lost possession, who regained possession. It's carnage out of there, but it's very loose, and Portugal are definitely getting in there and spawning around. The crowd saw that when the Portuguese players got held back, and they love the offloads. No look offloads.
No, the ball exposed. I thought you stepped off there, but we can talk in a minute. Time's off. We'll just wait for your players.
Yeah, it's just end-to-end stuff here. It's one of those games that if you're neutral, this is an exciting game for you, but I'm pretty nervous about it.
Well, I can't believe we played nearly 20 minutes. There's only been 1 try. It feels as if we've got 4 from what's happened. But no, Portugal are great. They are really offloading, and they've got a bit of speed. And we spoke to one of the Portuguese journalists in the week, and he said that their back 3 is really where their strengths are, and they'll try and get the ball as much as they can. And they've done that. I think Wales would like to settle down with another try. It was a great break from Chris Chinza, and he puts a pass in. He was running to the right, and he had to pass it to the left to Thomas Williams. As all players know, once you make a break, the scrum halves are always going to be there with you. And he didn't see that Marques was coming from the outside, the other scrum half, and absolutely drilled him from the blind side. He did well to keep hold of the ball, Thomas, actually. But again, Wales will be disappointed. They don't recycle the ball, keep their composure, and score. They did so well against Fiji last week. Their entries to the 22 is coming away with points at the moment. They're probably not quite clinical enough at the moment.
Allianz Arena, Nice. BBC Radio Wales, BBC Sounds, BBC 5 Sports Extra. Tens of thousands of Welsh supporters here over the past few days. But the Portuguese are certainly here in their numbers, and very knowledgeable. They are too, Josh Navidi. You can move from being mobbed earlier on when we arrived here.
Yeah, a couple of Portuguese fans spotted me, and they were talking about their friend Vera on the bench, that they played rugby growing up with him, and it's quite special just to come across different fans, and obviously they were wearing red as well, so you think they were Welsh fans at one point.
Just very tanned Welsh fans, but actually could be any of the Welsh fans, couldn't they?
So Portugal, second World Cup. So many of these players, including skipper Thomas Hamilton, inspired to take up the game as a result of the class of 07. They were all amateurs then. There are a number of professionals in this team. 8 play in France in the top 2 division, and they play. Appleton spills into midfield. Could have been very dangerous because Jack Morgan was lurking. No shape now for Portugal, but still they come again. Surely they'll kick here. Wales have 2 back in the back line in Rio Dyer and Lee Halfpenny. Marques does that. Halfpenny waits for the ball, hanging high in the Nice sky. Mata tackles him again. Halfpenny comfortable with the defensive work. Big clash there. between both hookers. Dewi Lake gets the ball back. He's not had everything his way so far.
No more now, you've had one.
20 minutes played, 7-0. Just the one try for Wales. Somehow, because it's been one of the most open games we've seen in a very long time. Thomas Williams, 50 caps today in his own 22.
Hold black!
Back it goes towards the fly half. Portela gives it some welly, gives it too much, and that's gone out on the full. And that's a basic error by the young Portuguese fly half, and that's an attacking scrum for Wales. All the way back, really, between the 10-yard line and the Portugal 22.
It's nice just to see a bit of composure. I know it was a bit boring with the kicks, but at the end of the day, we've got a scrum just in between the 10 and the 22 in the Portuguese half, and that's what we want to build from, not from our own half and worrying about playing too much.
Yeah, those are those kicking battles. You either keep kicking back, and if Portugal kick back, then there might be an opportunity when they get tired, or they make an error like that. So that's where the relevant experience of Thomas Williams putting it back down long, and now they get exactly what they want, which is an attacking scrum right inside of the park.
Just the one score so far, 7-0 the lead.
Expect to see Mason Grady coming short, either getting it short or as a decoy runner.
Well, we are 60 odd metres away from Mason Grady, and he still looks like a big man from here, and he's a powerful man as well. Free kick.
I think Thomas could go quickly there as well. You can, because as a back line, you just run your play, you're not risking another scrum, you're going to get good ball and you can go. Another re-scrumming, but for me, free kick, just go.
I think the Portuguese pack here need to be conscious a little bit. They were pushing very early before the ball was in, so this could turn the other way into a penalty.
Yeah, just go. Let's go.
This is our patience normally as a front row, but if the ball's not going in, it has to be a stationary scrum.
Zamet just hanging around straight behind the scrum, looking, could go right down the blind side, depending where the scrum goes, or you'll come round in the open side, linking up.
Another free kick for Wales, and this time Thomas Williams takes it quickly. Johnny Williams, straight over his opposite number Appleton, over the 22. Anscombe, flat ball, and he's manched as well. And Wales, after two phases, are losing a little bit of shape. David Jenkins loses the ball. Marquez knew there was an advantage being played with a wild pass. And, well, Thomas Williams listened to you in the end, Mickey, but perhaps on the wrong turn.
Well, I still think the right decision to go, and Johnny Williams he actually got so far over the gain line, he was the Welsh forwards couldn't get around, so had to go to Anscombe, and the Portuguese defence, to be fair, had got round well and had numbers and came off, and Gareth was caught a bit flat-footed and couldn't get the ball away, but still, they kept presenting. David Jenkins has got to hold on to the ball better, and carrying in, lost it, and let Portugal have a scrum to try and exit.
7-0, 24 play. Massive Portuguese expat community in the south of France, and they're here in their numbers. Marquez, former Toulouse man, with a loose kick to Lee Halfpenny, who's uncertain with his decision making, so he's tackled on the halfway line. Faletau, first receiver, again beats the first defender with completing it at ease, and the quarterback Anscombe pumps it up high in the air, and Luis Rizamet gives chase, knocked back down straight into the hands of Portugal, and it's this man Mata who springs out of one tackle, tries to get it away. Johnny Williams blocked the pass there. I'm not sure if he's allowed to do that, and really that's a yellow card.
Yeah, clear yellow card. He's on the ground. I thought actually he could have passed it before the tackle. It was a 2-on-1 and Wales are in trouble.
Yeah, it's just a simple draw and give. I wouldn't say basic, but you think he would have given that pass earlier and he would have been away.
Yeah, it was a good tackle from Johnny Williams.
Johnny Williams makes the tackle, and as he goes to the offload, he blocks the pass, and that's a clear yellow card, isn't it?
Yeah, he can't be doing that. It's silly. It really is. You know the rules. You just can't be doing that as a player. He knows he shouldn't be doing that. whether you stop the try or not, you're in the bin, your team's down to 14 for 10 minutes. And actually, he's come from a decent kick from Anscombe. He was around the halfway line, he's gone crossfield. Zamic actually got up and got the ball back, and it's just bounced nicely for the Portuguese.
I think that's nice to see, that just crossfield kick, putting a bit of pressure back on them. And I think it's probably spoken in the water break to put a ball on top of them and just make the Portuguese work a bit harder and getting them further down in their half.
Portugal go to the corner, they don't go for points.
I think they want to spend some time in the 22, don't they? And there's been a tough kick from where it was, 35 metres on an angle.
It'd be interesting to see what the Portuguese do here. Will they break out early because we're down the centre, or will they look to drive it?
Front ball, and they go for the drive. 8 forwards against 8 forwards, and it's drifted towards the touchline, and that's excellent defensive work by Wales. And Portugal, with a man advantage in the backs, equal footing in the forwards, are held comfortably by Wales. We've played 25 minutes, Wales down to 14, they lead 7-0.
Josh, that's obviously something the forwards would have worked on, is push them towards the touchline. Are you not open then, if they spin round, actually they get through a bit easier?
No, it's because everyone's got their own little slots where they go to on the defensive drive, and it's angling them, not pushing them towards the touchline, it's angling to the touchline. And that was it's a pleasure to see this as a forward myself, to get the way they just got them out so easily. And now,
what an outstanding clearance by Thomas Williams. 5 metres out, has gone 55 metres up to the 10-yard line. And what was so impressive about that as well is that he took 2 steps back before whacking the ball away to give himself some space. Technically fantastic.
Yeah, and you're talking about pleasuring, watching watching a maul getting pushed aside. I think myself and Gareth would enjoy that kick, and I definitely would. And Thomas Williams' excellent exit.
Marques under pressure by Thomas Williams again. Half a century of Wales international caps for Thomas today. Johnny Williams in the sin bin. 27 minutes. Nice to see a yellow card given. That's not a bunker review, actually.
Okay, use it, please.
Simple. Stopping of the pass. 28 minutes played.
Take him back in.
And the game's calmed down a little bit. Here's Lewis Rees-Zammit, just outside his own 22, to Lee Halfpenny. He looks up, shapes the kick, does just that. Another technically well-assured kick. Hands high, and he leaps like a salmon to field it. It's Wales possession. Thomas Williams gets it at Dewi Lake, first receiver. Jack Morgan in wide channels again. Gets it away, Rio Dyer to Anscombe. Anscombe to Mason Grady, running out of space. Crashes into a defender, keeps the ball alive, and Appleton gathers it, takes it over his own touchline. And that'll be, well, I'm not sure why it's Portugal ball, but we'll play on. Sousa Getch clears the possession to Halfpenny. Halfpenny looking to counter-attack to Rio Dyer. Rio Dyer hasn't got any support up to halfway. 29 minutes played, now it's on for Wales. If they go, Dylan Lewis rolls out of one tackle, sucks in an extra defender. Portuguese defence has organised itself. Dan Lydia, David Jenkins offloaded to Faletau, ball in 2 hands. Faletau stretches away, looks to offload, doesn't quite do so. Portugal steal possession. Now they'll go. And Marques clears, and Gareth Anscombe has to scramble, and he's taking his time. And Mata gives chase, and it's a 50-22, and Portugal have a chance. They take it quickly. Oh my days, 30 minutes played. We are not short of entertainment, but this is not a game for the coaches for sure, because there are errors, poor tactical decisions, and strange decisions taken galore.
Yeah, Wales again, some lovely play in the wide channels. Gareth Anscombe looked to be away, so I think it's lovely hands from Jack Morgan again, and Rio Dyer combining really nicely. And then just that composure then, and keeping it. Toby Faletau makes a lovely break, but again, lack of support. Said when the games are this open, all the patterns of play seem to go out the window.
Portugal in Wales is 22. Mata off his left wing, direct. Lima, dummy runner. Susagech, good footwork, gets it away. Here's the right winger, Pinto, out of one tackle from Halfpenny. Wales defending here. They're up by 7. 30 minutes played. 14 men, of course, for Wales. Johnny Williams in the bin. Pick and go by Portugal. Wales want the turnover. Wales get the turnover. And it's Lee Halfpenny, of all people, with a jackal penalty.
You could see he came from about 3 metres away and got his head straight in there. And I thought if he gets this now, it's going to be a lovely penalty. And especially as a back row, having your full back doing that, it takes a bit of weight off your shoulders.
Yeah, he's so good defensively, isn't he, Lee? He made a really good tackle one-on-one. I don't think he hardly ever misses any of those. And then the ability to spot when a player's isolated, to be able to steal the ball. There's another half chance for Portugal, and they do look like they can create once they get to the 22, but some good turnovers from Wales when it really mattered.
A lot of times we've seen both sides break tackles and go that metre too far, which is a rare thing to be seen in Test match rugby. Turnovers are often happening here because the attackers made too much yardage.
Is that such a thing? I know, to make too many yards after carry, metres after carry.
You know where I'm coming from.
You know exactly right. Well, that is been the case, isn't it? And because lots of sides normally would maybe let you have the ball, you make that break. Portugal are sending numbers in to try and turn the ball over, and they're successful at the moment.
Line-up's going well for Wales.
A good drill on that line-up there.
Yeah, we'll have a look at the stats.
That's one!
In a sec. Yeah, 6 from 6 for Wales so far.
Rio was there that time on the blind.
Faletau slips, loses feet. Hope he's okay, because it was an innocuous slip. Nobody's fault, but those are the kind of things that can lead to injuries.
Okay, use it now, please.
68 tackles made by Portugal, 55 by Wales. Both sides have made 300 metres already. Great take by Portela in his own 22. Marques, who's a very busy scrum half, he gives it Samueli, and Thomas Williams is back. Toba Lee Halfpenny to clear the ball.
Come out the 10!
Gives it back to Portela.
Yeah, that's a poor kick from Thomas Williams into the middle of the park.
Susagech changes the angle, tries to pin Anscombe back, but Anscombe's read it well, just aside his own 22. Not many options for him, so he just finds Green Bay's. And Marques has it in his own 22. Rio Dyer gets the clearance, catches it, 2 hands with ease. Now he looks to counter-attack. Wow, accelerates straight into a couple of forwards who crunch the tackle on him. That was brave from Rio Dyer. Not the biggest, but he's up for it.
He went all Fijian then, didn't he? Didn't bother with a sidestep, just straight in. I'm sure he'll be doing that one again.
No, he's got up rather gingerly.
Yeah,
and he's been told by
please.
Thomas Williams to chase this box kick, which is coming. 7-0, 34 minutes played in Nice. It was a furious opening 20. Knocked on by Wales. Portugal to counter-attack to Lima. There's no full back. So it's a foot race between Mata and Luis Rizame. But it's another 50-22. And Lee Halfpenny was up chasing, no full back. And Wales being punished.
I think Ronaldo's been in their camp with a 50-22. He's 2 already.
Yeah, and I'm still not quite sure why Rio Dyer is doing what he's doing there, running into the middle of the park. And there's a couple of poor kicks that let Portugal win those little battles. We talked about it earlier when Wales won because Portugal had made a kicking error. They've won the last 2 or 3 kicking battles with there, which is why they've been in the 22. And you have to look at the scoreboard again and go with nearly to half time. Wales have scored 1 try, and it's again, I'm sure the players will be frustrated, coaches will be frustrated, because I think they're still going off what they should be doing. 2 individual at times, and has given Portugal the opportunity to escape.
Australia in Lyon next week for Wales, next Sunday. Before that, it's Fiji, Australia, which will be a banger tomorrow. For now, 35 minutes on the clock. Portugal attack. Mason Grady with a tackle, he was high, so there's a penalty coming. And there's half a minute left to survive for Wales with 14 players. Interesting call for Portugal here. Do they take the points? when the penalty eventually comes. So to Getch go for the drop goal, he does. Clipped it well. No, missed.
To be honest, I always get frustrated. If you've got a penalty advantage, why do you go for a drop goal?
Yeah, unless it's to win a game or something like that, then you're right. Why not play? Why not put an up and under up just to try and get something where you might score a try? And you're right, Gareth, they are going for 3, and so they should. It's 7-0, isn't it? So 3 points would be great to get them on the board. And I think Johnny Williams a little unlucky. You've just seen the replay. It was over the shoulder, but his arm was very low.
It's Mason Grady.
Yeah,
Mason Grady's apologies.
Done by there.
Yeah, I think that's a tough one. It wasn't.
Gareth shaking his head.
Just don't tackle high, isn't it?
It's hard because he's trying to wrap the ball up at the same time, so he is reaching around. But I think that was on the shoulder. But
yeah, it wasn't around the neck at all. It went down his chest as his arm went. But I think, look, Portugal have definitely deserved points, haven't they? They've looked really good in attack. They love it when this game opens up, don't they? They've got the players. And Mark Ches, who's the scrum half.
He's handy, isn't he?
But you know, he's reading the game so well. He knows when there's space in the backfield. He's been so good at that.
Marquez should get this, does get this. And Portugal are well worth the 3 points. Wales 7, Portugal 3. We approach the end of the first half. BBC Radio Wales, BBC Sounds, 5 Sports Extra, and Johnny Williams is about to return after serving his 10 minutes in the bin. 3 minutes left.
Sorry, Gareth. I think the one thing that actually will please Gatland is the amount of ball in play we've had in this half. And I know we've only scored the 1 try and 7 points, but he'll know that come 50-60 minutes it's going to be hard for Portugal. Even coming out second half will be hard for them to go again. They've used a huge amount of energy in this first 40 minutes.
Simoesh, the number 8, been very busy today. And he's supposed to bend low.
Your players on the right side, inside.
2.5 minutes left. Carl Dixon, our referee, with instructions.
Ball is out now.
Lee Halfpenny. He's got Gareth Anscombe inside. He juggles, almost drops it. Pumps it up high to the knee sky. Halfpenny gets a hand to it, knocks it on. Loose kick. Lewis Rees-Zammit in space. His immediate decision is to kick, looking for the 50-22. Portella's across the fly half. His left peg.
7, stay.
Now it could be on for Wales. Anscombe has Halfpenny up to halfway. Johnny Williams wants it. Johnny Williams gets it. He's got forwards in front of him. Steps back inside. Almost breaks the tackle. Wales towards the end of this first half. Up by 7. Dewi Lake pops it off to Dylan Lewis. 3 front rowers combining. Portugal are short defensively. Mason Grady, Jack Morgan again. Bumps off Appleton and Lima, who was there, the defenders. Can Wales finish with a flourish? Johnny Williams, Thomas Williams, chins on the angle, gets it away to Thomas Williams. He's wrapped in the tackle to Johnny Williams. Such a loose game here in Nice. Anscombe tells Falta to go down blind. Chunza in space, attacks the weak shoulder. 10 metres in from the far touchline. Into the final minute of the first half. Dylan Lewis, little short dummy, digs into a Portuguese defender.
Thank you.
Anscombe, flat dummy runners, Lake. Mason Grady, Rio Dyer, poor pass, Mason Grady. Out on the full line up for Portugal. That may well be the final play of this first half.
Well, you've got to be careful because Portugal are looking to go quick at any chance they can. There's a poor decision for Wales to go wide there. It was a poor pass from Mason Grady. It wasn't really on for Rio Dyer. So they're getting some gain line when they go back down the blind. Actually, Chris Chunja's carried multiple times, and actually I think that's where Wales should be better going, is going to the middle and go back down the blind, because open side, the Portuguese defence are happy to stay there. They're not having to work, so when it comes, they've got good numbers, whereas the other side, it's like making those players tackle continuously. If they get up and make another tackle, then you could do again and get them tired, and maybe try and get them when you get a bit of a mismatch there. But again, poor skills and a poor decision for me from the Welsh backline to go wide.
can see the Portuguese fans down there shouting. I think they'll be happy going into half-time with this score. Obviously 19 seconds left on the clock, but just like Nicky was saying, just we need to move their pack around and make them tired. You can see that a couple of their forwards slowly starting to walk, and the same what happened with Fiji. We need to get them working and just drain the life out of them, and then we can open that space going wide.
Are we concerned from a Wales point of view right now?
No, I'm not. I think
Don't change after the ball is in.
Portugal have got some experienced players who played a lot of French rugby, and they know how to do the basics, and they've created a huge amount. They might be disappointed they haven't got a try, but I'm not concerned at the moment. It has to be 20 minutes in the second half, but I think that this will pay off in the second half when that Portuguese pack will definitely start to tire.
5 seconds left. Considering what we've seen from Portugal, does Marques just bang it off the field here? Well, we won't get a chance. Penalty for Wales, taken quickly by Faletau. Again, Wales want to play. Portugal seem to enjoy that. Last play of the first half. Chunza breaks a tackle, then stumbles over the next one. Portuguese defence has held just for now, just a one try, 7-3. Johnny Williams back from the bench, having been sin-binned. Nicky Smith breaks a tackle. Good carry by the loose head prop. Now we must be on. Anscombe in traffic, crossing. There was crossing, but the referee called offside as well before the crossing came. That's what Carl Dixon's instructions were.
Yes, a Wales penalty.
Yeah. So, Dewi Lake with the call here.
Scrum this.
But yeah, I'll take the points and I'll take the 3.
I think you scrum this, or you tap and go.
It's a long way out.
Dewi Lake taps and goes himself. Bangs into 2 Portuguese defenders. Big call by Wales, turning down 3 points. Talupe Faletau within a metre. Penalty coming. Final play of the first half. Wales have 1 try already. Johnny Williams makes it 2. Right at the death of the first half. Wales turn down 3 points, and they get the second score. Thanks to Johnny Williams. It's Wales 12, Portugal 3.
Yeah, the set piece that we actually thought there would be a little bit of problem for Portuguese, but Carl Dixon's having a look at something.
What are we looking at?
On the line, but that might have been after he's lost it, so Maris, it's you.
Did he lose possession?
It looked as if,
Those eyes from Johnny Williams.
Here's your first angle coming up
are
now.
not too convincing. Is Marius Jonker the TMO official?
We've got to just wait. Yeah.
Williams, head down.
No try, but
Drops the ball.
we have 2
Drops the ball.
offsides. 2 offsides. Yeah, we've got 2 offsides. One over here, one over there.
2 offsides.
One over here, one over there.
So, penalty to Wales.
I think once Wales go 3 phases, they have numbers, and they could have scored there. I think Johnny Williams did the right thing. He went really low. Just unfortunately the ball slipped out, but the right decision, because Portugal are flying off the line looking for an interception. I think you just go hard against the grain, back on their inside shoulders, what he did. I'd be surprised if Wales don't score from here.
Dewi Lake, no nonsense, drills it into the defence. There's the power. Oh yes, Dewi Lake, 1 man against the whole Portuguese pack. Tap and go. And as Dewi Lake leads his nation in the World Cup for the first time, he shows his strength, his determination, and gets his side on the score sheet for the second time. Second try for Wales. Dewi Lake, the try scorer. Wales 12, Portugal 3.
I always say with that short tap penalty, normally it's a hooker on that ball, and to be honest, I wouldn't want to be in that position taking that tap when you've got a full line in front of you. But what a carry for him, great leg drive, and he gets through. He's such a big boy, shows his power there.
Yeah, it was really important to get that try, wasn't it? Just before half-time, I said I wasn't panicking, he went in at 7-3, knowing actually the damage this would do to the Portuguese come the second half, but so nice to get a bit more of a boost and take a little bit more energy out of the Portuguese now that they're 2 tries down, 14 points to 3.
Lee Halfpenny secures the conversion. 2 tries for Wales in that first half. 1 to Lewis Rhys-Samet. After 9 minutes, Dewi Lake with the second. And as the players depart for the changing rooms, the score at half-time here is Wales 14, Portugal 3.
Well, talk about nerves, didn't we, earlier on here on Radio Wales, and how Wales fans were going to be feeling both in France, there in Nice, and back home here in Wales. And you could just imagine in living rooms and pubs and clubhouses across the country, that was a far more nervy first 40 than we were hoping it would be. But it looks better at half-time now, doesn't it? 12-3 to Wales. How are you feeling, Josh, Navidi and Nicky Robinson? It's it got better, didn't it, towards the end of that first half, but the middle period, what was going on? We talked about discipline, didn't we, before the game? Keeping their heads, not getting cheap yellow cards. And there we are, Johnny Williams gets one.
Yeah, it's always the big thing's always discipline, and if we give teams like Portugal just to relieve the pressure and kick it down there and get that drive and get back into the game, is always going to be a problem. But it's good to show a bit of composure after the water break, just kicking the ball a little bit more than we have been and not playing in that middle quarter and playing it more down in their half, and then just that composure at the end to show that no, we're not taking a 3, we're backing ourselves and we're going to score a try. And obviously we had Johnny Williams knocking on the ball, but we had another penalty and Dewi Lake scoring straight away is something that the boys can take in as a positive from the first half. And it feels like that Portugal again a little bit deflated, and you can see they're getting tired, so the longer we keep the ball on the park, it's going to work in favour for us.
Great strength from Dewi Lake, Nicky. That is one of the positives, isn't it? From the captain there, looking to make his mark, and Australia in mind next week. Really good score by him there.
Yeah, it was. I think there's been plenty of positives by a few individuals. I think he's carried well there. The line-out's been excellent. I think we've been 100% on the line-out. I think Chris Chunja's carried really well, and when I've seen him for Wales, I don't see the carries he does for Exeter. And actually today, with obviously a bit more of an open game, he's getting to carry, he's looking to offload, and his handling, he put a good pass into Thomas Williams, got tackled. So there's been some good play from a couple of those. Johnny Williams got carried well. Mason Grady again out wide, showing his strength to stay in field. So there has been positives. It's been a really entertaining game, and I think we have to give credit to Portugal to how they're going to play. And sometimes it's almost impossible not to get dragged into that open game because of the way Portugal are trying to do it. A few things have come off them, a few lucky bounces gone to them. They put some good kicks in. But I'm not worried at all going into the second half. I think Wales will pull away to the fitness. But it's been great to see what Portugal can do, and the crowd will go crazy if they do score a try, and they probably would have deserved one in that first half. But Wales defensively have made a few errors, but on the whole they look pretty comfortable. I
was just going to say though, Josh, Portugal will still have belief, won't they? They'll still have hope, especially at 7-3, but even at 12-3 they'll still believe they're still very much in this game, just 9 points in it.
They showed that they had chances first half, and they'll go into the change room a little bit deflated, but still feeling that they can score those points that they need to try and close that gap out. But you can see from the difference now after the water break, it's just a bit more composure, and you can see I feel like Wales will pull away early on in the second half, but you know what you're going to get from Portugal. They're going to come out, they're going to come rearing for 10 minutes, and as long as we weather that storm and then make substitutions and just making sure we're just playing in the right areas and staying composed, that's massive for a game like this. And we can let it open up late in the second half, and then having fresh legs come on, and the likes of Thomas Williams and Gareth Anscombe bossing that attacking play.
Okay guys, go and grab those sweets if you've still got any left. You might need some half-time sugar there in Nice to steady the nerves. It's Wales who lead then, but not by that much. 12-3 at half-time in the second World Cup pool game here on Radio Wales and BBC Sounds. Second half commentary to come. Don't go anywhere. We'll bring it all to you here. You won't miss a single kick. Earlier on, meanwhile, at the Rugby World Cup in England's group, Samoa starting their tournament with a bonus point win over Chile. Did really well in that game. England faced Japan in Nice tonight, tomorrow, and Ireland-Tonga to come from about 8 o'clock this evening. Well, not about, exactly at 8 o'clock. Let's round up the football then before we return to the rugby and talk about our 2-3 o'clock games. We brought you live on Radio Wales, and Wrexham comfortably seeing off Grimsby 3-0 in front of co-owner Ryan Reynolds at the Stoke Kairos to move fourth in League Two. Good afternoon for the Red Dragons, and the assistant manager Steve Parkin was delighted with the result and the performance.
It was good because we were playing against a good team. You know, they've had a good start to the season, and I think that we've been striving and looking for a real solid workmanlike, but with good football in it. Not quite at it in long periods, but today I thought we were really good.
And in terms of Newport County, well, it was an eventful afternoon at Rodney Parade. Ryan Delaney saw red in the first half. They held on for a 1-1 draw with Barrow there at Rodney Parade, and the Exiles manager Graham Coughlan, well, he said he enjoyed it.
I thought two teams went at a hammer and tongue, and do you know, if I wasn't a manager, stood on the sidelines, we were taking charge of one of the teams today, I probably would have enjoyed that game. I probably would have enjoyed that, a League Two, typical League Two game, and it was a good advert for League Two football.
The Exiles 12th in League Two after that draw there at home this afternoon. So the second part then of this Super Saturday coming up from about 7 o'clock after the rugby. It is the South Wales Derby, a rare Saturday night primetime slot for this big championship dust-up. Cardiff City against Swansea City at the Cardiff City Stadium. Chris Wathen already in place there. Good evening, Chris.
Good evening, Ian. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. From one quiet stadium to another, but it won't be in a couple of hours. You can only imagine the chatter though among Cardiff fans, I suppose, in the pubs and the cafes and so on around the ground after well, a pretty awful couple of years in this fixture for them.
Yeah, absolutely. We actually drove through the city centre to get to the stadium this afternoon, coming here nice and early ahead of the crowds, and the pubs were teeming, as you can imagine, whether you're watching the rugby or getting ready for this one. A very rare occasion to have an evening kick-off. September 2008, the last time these two sides met when dusk falls. Swansea fans, just see one or two just coming in now to place their flags. They would have had one heck of a journey. They had to meet at 3:30 for this 7:45 kick-off. Just 45-minute journey, but it is being well policed. But Cardiff fans, as you say, full of optimism, rightly so, not necessarily for the results this year, but perhaps the way they've been playing. And it is the first time, one heck of a stat this, that they go into a derby ahead of Swansea in the league since 2011. So you can sense the optimism that this is the time that they could turn it around, that they can end this run of 4 wins in a row. Swansea, of course, just hoping they can get a first win this season under Michael Duff. He's changed his mind, he seems, on how important this game is. We'll hear from him in the build-up to that 7:45 kick-off, and we do expect some of their deadline day signings to play. Will they give the team a boost they need? The season starts now, says the Swansea manager. As far as the travelling Swansea fans are concerned, it better had.
Yeah, absolutely, as they head down the M4, already heading down the M4 in this bubble trip that they've got to go on. And yeah, I mean, the season starts now, says Michael Duff for the Swans, and Errol Bullitt will feel the same, you'd imagine, if they can get a result against the Swans. It's been a tale of, well, hard luck stories really, especially at Ipswich a couple of weeks ago, wasn't it, where they looked on course for a good win and somehow end up losing 3-2. You've got to embrace the chaos if you're a Cardiff fan at the moment, haven't you?
When have Cardiff fans not sort of had to put up with chaos at the very least? Yeah, embrace it. I just bumped into Danny Gabidon actually, who will be part of our commentary team tonight. He was at Portman Road a few weeks ago, really impressed with the way they played. It's the second time this season though they've thrown away a 2-goal lead. Is it a question of fitness? Is it a question of mentality? You would expect that if Cardiff can get such an advantage, and the stadium noise, that it's going to be a sellout, that's for sure, should see them hold on. Big ups and maybes, of course. Andy Robinson, the former Swansea midfielder, the other half of our commentary team tonight, I have seen him poke his head around. He has made it in safely. I wonder if he'll make it out safely if he screams to another last minute winner, as he did in last season's dramatic 3-2 win for Swansea when Ben Cabango scored that goal. But yeah, Cardiff in far better shape than last term. Swansea, you can say polar opposites, but this is a derby. Do you want your first cliche of the day?
Yes, please.
Phone book goes out the window.
Yes, yeah, you're going to get that from your pundits as well, aren't you?
Yeah, quite.
He normally turns up in a curly wig and a moustache, Andy Robinson, for this one. You said we'd hear from the managers later. Let's do that now, shall we? And just get the thoughts of Cardiff's Errol Bullitt, who, should know a thing or two about rivalries, having played for and managed Fenerbahce against Galatasaray in Turkey, and Michael Duff, who, as Chris was saying, did kind of anger those Swansea fans, didn't he, when he suggested it was just another game. But clearly, as Chris was saying, he has since had second thoughts.
From my point of view, you want to win both games and get promoted, absolutely. I think one thing I will say, I think you caught me on the hop in terms of a really disappointing performance after the Bristol City game. It's as poor as we've been all season, so I was really disappointed with that. So was I focusing on the game in 2 weeks' time? No. I'm an outsider coming in, and now I've moved into the area. You get told pretty quickly how important it is to the area, to the people.
If I sign here as a Cardiff manager, so I knew already what derbies mean, so I don't need to tell myself how I have to go on the field and to perform. So 20 years as a professional, 7 years as a manager, also in Fenerbahce as a coach, so I know about derbies well.
It's a big game. Obviously, when you're in it, it's an even bigger game, but it's a big game, like I just said, from the outside looking in. So if I wasn't involved in this game, I'd be watching it on Saturday night, because it is such a bitter rivalry, ultimately. And they normally produce maybe not the best football games in the world, but entertaining, chaotic, proper local derbies. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to being a part of it, and hopefully we'll see a reaction from last week.
Of course, fans knows better than me in Cardiff what is going on. For 2 weeks ago, I was in the city centre in a pub, and I was with Cardiff fans, so I understood it really well what this means here the derby. So on Saturday we will be on the field like that.
I wonder which pub he went to, Chris, in the centre of Cardiff. But that's what they like, They like, managers who actually go out and meet the fans. Neil Warnock used to be quite good doing that kind of thing. But you wonder who needs it most. I suppose it's Swansea, isn't it? Just.
Results went for them today. Otherwise, they could have gone into this bottom of the Championship table with just the 2 points to their name. Cardiff, though, yes, they've been impressive, but they'll also need a win under Errol Bullitt, as you say. Appears calm and collected. I hope he wasn't in some of the pubs that I passed on the way earlier. And regardless of what's happened in recent years, it's going to be tight. They generally are. And shall I leave you with another lovely stat? The last time Cardiff won by more than one goal in the league in this fixture was 1965. Speaking of ancient history, our football correspondent Rob Phillips will be giving you commentary for the 7:45 kickoff alongside Andy Robinson and Danny Gabidon. All starts from 7 when we're finished with the rugby. And you, Ian?
I thought you were going to say he was born in that year, 1965. Thank you, Chris. Statman Chris there at the Cardiff City Stadium. And yes, we will be with Chris as soon as we're done with the rugby. Around about 7 o'clock on Radio Wales this evening, Cardiff City against Swansea City. Right, latest from the Premier League then. Nothing to tell you so far from St James's Park. It's 0-0 between Newcastle and Brentford. But certainly worth tuning into Match of the Day later, though, for the earlier games, because Premier League leaders Manchester City made it 5 wins from 5. They came from behind to beat in-form West Ham 3-1 at the London Stadium. Tottenham struck twice in stoppage time, also coming from behind to beat Sheffield United 2-1, and Wales forward Brennan Johnson came off the bench to make his Spurs debut after that £45 million move at the end of the transfer window. Stoppage time goals for Aston Villa. They beat Crystal Palace 3-1, and it was an interesting afternoon at Old Trafford. The crowd turning on Manchester United's manager Erik ten Hag as his side lost 3-1 to Brighton. Things not going very well for them at the start of the season, on or off the field, really, overall. And Rob Edwards' Luton are still waiting for their first point of the season as they lost 1-0 at Fulham. And another comeback win, loads of those around today. Liverpool fighting back from a goal down at lunchtime to win 3-1 at Wolverhampton Wanderers, and did go briefly top of the Premier League table. So you are with Radio Wales and BBC Sounds as well. Good evening. If you are just joining our coverage wherever you are across Wales, or if you're in England or across the UK generally, you can listen on BBC Sounds, of course. We're halfway through Wales's World Cup second pool game against Portugal, and they do lead, but only by 9 points, 12-3. Let's go back to Josh Navidi and Nicky Robinson before teams come back out for the second half. Josh, what do we want to see from Wales then? How can they start this half differently?
It's just territory is a massive thing that you could see halfway through the first half, just kicking a little bit more, playing in their half, putting pressure on the Portuguese, and they want to run it from their own half, their own try line, and it's just keeping them down, keeping them pinned, and that's where we get those little turnovers where we can turn it into that attacking shape, and just we need to move them a little bit more. So instead of coming back on the short side, just maybe going into the open field a little bit more to actually move that pack around, because you could see from the first half they did get tired towards the end.
I think that's the whistle for the second half. Let's rejoin our commentary team on Radio Wales and BBC Sounds and 5 Sports Extra. Josh there alongside Nicky Robinson and Gareth Rees-Owen.
Welcome back to the Allianz Arena, Nice, where we've had a number of colour changes to the Côte d'Azur sky. There were dark clouds here earlier this afternoon when the rain and the storm arrived, then blue skies, and now it's a light shade of grey as the hills behind us and the terracotta roofs are shadowed by greying skyline. It's not been the hottest of days here, especially when you compare it to Bordeaux, and it's not necessarily been that frenetic and tense compared to Sunday's match, which ended at such a dramatic high point. This one, it's been entertaining. 2 tries for Wales, and Portugal have played their part. But it's an 11-point gap as things stand. Thomas Williams conducts us forward, gets it away to Rio Dyer, cuts back in, beats one player, almost got it away to Thomas Williams, but it's spilt forward. Portugal possession.
Knock on black, knock on white, scramble.
And again, the eagerness of Rio Dyer, but things not quite falling to plan for Wales.
Yeah, Thomas Williams wanted to box kick, but because the maul had moved around a bit, he was worried he'd get charged down by one of the Portuguese breaking off that maul, so he used Rio Dyer. Rio Dyer beat the first man, but then tried to get the offload away. Probably should have held on to it. It was quite crowded around there. He got it to Thomas Williams, should have been tackled and spilt the ball.
Maybe 15 of the 100 or so hospitality top-end boxes seats are currently occupied. Clearly the dignitaries still enjoying their high-end lunch. Turnover ball for Wales, spilt by Sosa Getch. Wales then repeat the same action, and it should be scrum for Wales now.
Yeah, even last week against Fiji, the first half was so frantic, wasn't it? And then the start of the second half, that's where Wales really won the game, because they took all the sting out of the game. And for size to can come out, you sing the anthem. First game of the World Cup for Portugal tonight, as it was for Fiji last week. You've got that intensity, you've got that energy. You go in for 10 minutes, you take a breath, you calm down, and then it's how do you get yourself back up again? And that's going to be the challenge for these tier 2 nations, not so much for the experienced players that they're playing against. It's the other ones, and Fiji possibly lack that. The crowd are a bit quiet, they need something to cheer on as well. And the longer that it continues for Wales and they get a penalty from the scrum, the better.
Overleaning, number 1.
14-3.
Your
BBC
first
Sounds,
forward.
BBC Radio Wales and 5 Sports Extra. Gareth Anscombe goes to the corner and doesn't quite hit double top. But it's not a bad kick by him. He's just gone for the corner and he's 7 metres out.
It's a decent effort.
You'd be happy with that.
Not perfection.
From up here I wouldn't be happy, but on the pitch I'd be delighted.
Attacking lineup for Wales. Dewi Lake. This time stolen by Portugal. Cleared by Mata. And Lake will take 2 here. But as opposed to being 7 metres out, he's probably about 12. And that's the first line-out slip for Wales.
Sometimes it's quite hard to defend from this far out because you don't know what they're going to bring. So it'll be interesting to see if Wales will go back with a drive.
And again, Portugal steal the line out. Went simplicity. David Jenkins. And
knock on at the line out first.
was knocked on as well.
Knock over at the line
Simuesh
out.
putting pressure on Jenkins. And the error just starting to creep in. 14-3.
Yeah, back-to-back line-outs where they stole it there. They just put a prod just in between the middle and front slot, and just that's all they got going up really. They're not reading it too much. They're just going with a 2-pod system. It's just moving them around, and we just need to put those options where we can move the Portuguese bodies around in the line-outs.
Bind on. Set. Hold.
14-3. The sound of the scrum being wheeled by Wales. And Talupe Faletau stealing the ball from Portugal. Attacking ball for Wales. Turnover ball. Little grubber kick by Anscombe. Well read by Mata.
Josh, what would the forwards think when they got it from their scrum after they've just worked really hard to turn the ball over, and Gareth Anscombe does a lovely little chip straight back to the Portuguese?
Yeah.
Frustrated maybe?
As a front row looking up from there, we've given away ball so easy. Instead of trying to play a bit more, go through the phases and build pressure on the Portuguese team, it can be frustrating, but
it's a poor decision from Anscombe there.
I think Emma Lewis from our sister station, BBC Radio Cymru, is about just to give up on life. Another missed line out. Spilt again by Portugal. So 3 loose lineouts in a row need sorting for Wales. Unexpected ball again. Looped pass by Anscombe to Rio Dyer. Once again cuts back inside. Once again sort of runs away from support. Faletau to Lydia, knocks it on. Anscombe was in front of him, but going back to the advantage knock on. And what an untidy start as Dan Biggar looks on from the touchline to this second half. 14-3. First problem, Josh Nabidi, line out.
yes, it's been good first half. I was going to touch on now that the drill was theirs, top dart and winning it above them, but they probably just the throws maybe a little bit under, or the lift. It's in between that. It's quite hard to tell at the moment, but it's like if we get a full extension lift and the hookers can throw it at the top dart, it's difficult to defend. So Portugal just getting a little hand to it, getting up like a half lift and just spoiling the ball. It's just we want to be winning on top of them and above them.
Important for Wales now with this scrum. I'd ideally like to see a short carry and then forwards carrying and really punching some holes in this Portuguese defence.
Free kick against Wales, which Marques takes quickly, then looks up and aims for the 50-22, and Rio Dyer scrambling back to collect it, drills it back towards the exciting Soslagech, to his outside half, Portela, Lee Halfpenny once again, right place, right time. Soslagech in his own 22. Languid style to Lewis Rees-Zammit. Gasp of anticipation from the supporters. That's a loose kick from him. Soslagech has ball, looks up again, trying to squeeze the 50-22 straight to the hands of Chris Chunza, who really is a man you want to see ball in hand, but it slips out of his hands into Dewi Lake. Dewi Lake is thrown to the floor bear style, and I hope he's okay. That would have really pulled his back, but he's still fine. on the halfway line, Wales. They lead by 14 points to 3. Another loose pass. Anscombe collects it. Jack Morgan crossing, and Lake and Morgan, co-captains, getting in each other's way. Penalty for Portugal, and there are a number of players down now, receiving treatment. And what a messy opening 8 minutes for the second half.
Well, I'd say that about Portugal, and they wouldn't possibly have the intensity coming out the start of the second half as they did the first half. But it's Wales have lacked that intensity and that accuracy. Really poor, really lackadaisical, throwing passes when they shouldn't, dropping balls. It's just really lost all rhythm and shape, and you're expecting Wales to come out and just put their stamp on the game. This is the chance when they can. They lost 3 line-outs in a row. They had 2 knock-ons as well. 5 lots of possession they've given away. Really poor.
And Marquesh goes for the penalty. Early doors, they turned down a couple of 3 points opportunities. Does this tell you, Josh, that Portugal think they're in a game here?
Yeah, they just want, same as always, just building that scoreboard.
You won't get this anyway, by the way. This is dropping short.
You'll need to give it some. Marquesh from 47 metres. He's pulled it, and it's missed. So, still 14-3. 10 minutes have passed of the second half in these.
I think for Portugal, that's the time to go to the corner, isn't it? To put Wales under a bit of pressure, because they've been poor in this first half.
So, the bomb squad is on for Wales. Front row changed in full. So Elias, Domachowski and Thomas Francis.
Okay, thank you.
And
when you're ready.
Adam Beard is on for who? Is Chunza?
No, Chunza's still on. So David Jenkins has gone.
Another spilt ball straight into the hands of Chunza, but he was knocked on yet. And there were a few disappointed, gloomy looking faces there, as the players who were replaced just gingerly left the field. So, BBC Radio Wales, BBC Sounds and 5 Sports Extra. 51 minutes, Wales 14, Portugal 3.
I think Derry Lake's done enough to warrant a start against Australia, or those 3 lost line-outs actually tipped the balance in front of Ryan Elias.
Well, they will look at a review on Monday. Just go back over the tape and see. It can be down to the lift.
Of course, yeah.
Timing, there's a lot of stuff when the throw goes on in the game.
Pressure on Portugal scrum, but they're told to use it. Here they come. Loop play intercepted by Mason Grady. They went for the Johnny Sexton wraparound, but it didn't work. Talupe Faletau, Lewis Rees-Zammit. Big challenge on him from Lima. Penalty coming to Wales. Not the first time Portugal have infringed. Domachowski with his first carry. He's got neat hands, the substitute prop. Anscombe, Johnny Williams. Penalty advantage being played. Adam Beard, loose pass again. Yep, we're coming back.
Just looking at the Portuguese line, we don't need to force it. It's just getting that ball into the hands, and we're just missing those passes by a little bit. There's loads of space around. It's just taking that contact and then building on the next phase, because the boys running off Gareth and the forwards coming short is on every time.
Yeah, I agree. I think we're going wide when we don't need to. We have to take another phase or two before it's on, because as we go wider, they give Portugal a chance to come up and stop us from getting it out there. We haven't got clear numbers. I think we've got to keep punching through and look for offloads around those weak tackles.
Ryan Elias is on. Christians got the ball, but he didn't hit the scrum half. Just untidy ball. Rescued by Elias. Wales. Jack Morgan breaks the tackle over the 22. Wales on the front foot. Johnny Williams. Anscombe drifts outside the defender. Another penalty coming against Portugal. Johnny Williams almost breaks the tackle. Ball spilt on the far touchline, and that must be 4th penalty against Portugal for offside.
Offside, back down here. Offside over there. Just have one and we've got no offside. So, what's the number? You can get the number right now, but I'll get it. That's 2. No more.
that's the pressure we need to build, is catching them offside, and it could be another one now when someone's going to be in the bin for Portugal.
Okay, well, just wait. Just wait. Just wait. Come forward, okay. Number 6. 6 black, sorry. 6 black. 6 black.
Dan Lydiot. Afternoon is over. Team Basham is on.
This is good, surely, for a back rower to come on now with, 25 to go against a side that's starting to tire.
This is well, if I was on the bench, you know, your fresh legs, as soon as you get your hands on that ball, you can have good carries, and catching the other team who are a little bit tired, and you get a good gain line. And
it's interesting that Jack Morgan, who's not making to start, is going to play the full 80 though, isn't it?
Yeah, it's gonna be a tough couple of day turnaround for Jack. But I thought they would have swapped Tane for Jack there, just because he's played back-to-back games here.
Wales have an attacking scrum. Anscombe and Halfpenny are directly behind the scrum, almost in an I formation NFL style, with the quarterback and the running back behind him. Does that tell you who's going to go out?
Well, whenever we big up a scrum and looking forward to a play, it never comes out from there, so I'm trying to learn that. But just on that back row, I'm surprised that Toby Faletau was going to play 80, because I thought he might have just played another 60, but obviously happy to give him the full 80.
I think they would have looked at that, because he played, 60 last week and then 80 this week. I find that it's nice to get a half, a 60 and an 80 to get you back to full fitness. And it has been stop-start this second half.
You're probably not going to be as physically demanding as obviously the Fiji game has it.
Bind!
So Wales have their backs lined up in an intriguing pattern. Anscombe suggests he's going blind. Penalty advantage coming. Thomas Williams, Gareth Anscombe wraps around. Johnny Williams breaks the tackle within 2 metres. Portugal want the turnover. But is it another word from the referee?
The scrum and all-round warning. Tight end to ground.
Thomas Appleton. The messaging was clear. This one is a general warning. Any more infringements from Portugal, they're going. And Wales, surprise, surprise, go for the scrum here. 14-3. 54 minutes.
3.
Portugal make a change in the front row.
Yeah, that was good timing there with the ref giving a warning for the scrum.
It's your man Has Pereira's on.
Oh, yeah.
John.
Yeah, the guy that's just come on now. I've met all his friends today on the tram station, and they were bigging him up. So let's see how he goes on the first scrum.
No pressure, buddy. It's not the ideal scenario to come on, though, really, when you've got a defensive scrum on the final warning as well. He could be off.
Well, I've seen that happen many times before. He's just come on straight back off.
Don't be surprised if Wales keep this one in. Try and force perhaps a yellow card. The Portuguese scrum goes down, collapses. Thomas Williams peels off. Grabbed by Martinge. Wales looking for a third. Domachowski. Tackled low. Pick and go by Faletau. Tane Basham is on. Adam Beard with a carry. He's within a metre. Domachowski turns. Could have gone himself, one thinks, but decided against it. Wales so close now. Jack Morgan playing scrum half. Picks. Goes himself. And what Dewi Lake can do, his co-captain can do just as well. Jack Morgan, try number 3 for Wales, and they're getting ever nearer to the victory and the bonus points.
Well, all I like to see there is just the patience from the scrum. Thomas going himself, no options on, but then just you could see as a forward pack, you're working as a collective, like taking that little step and just passing it on the close contact, and then just a lovely carry there by Jack Morgan going on the blind side, and a latch from Thomas Francis. You ain't stopping him from there.
I agree. I think that was a time where he didn't need to go wide. There was a bit of an overlap, but actually the forwards were making yards. I think we've got the physical dominance against the Portuguese pack, so keep it in there when you're that close. Why risk it going any wider? Keep it in there unless you can just walk it in.
It'll be interesting to see how the Portuguese players come out from this conversion now. Do they jog to the halfway, or do they walk? That's when you can tell when a side's tired.
What happens if one of them does?
That's always sprinting to the halfway, but everyone else is walking.
That's Marquez.
Leading by experience.
Marquez, the former Toulouse man, 8 years in the international wilderness. He didn't play for his nation despite making his debut back in 2012. And he's certainly an inspirational figure in this side. Portugal make a number of changes themselves. Storti is on the right wing. Another very talented winger.
Inside!
I got a stat about him.
Go on.
14 tries in 15 games.
Well, the best stat.
That's the only one.
Rio Dyer. Chase got the ball. Wales have possession. Thomas Williams going for the 50-22. Sosa Getch. Certainly impressed in the first 40 minutes, but now the game has become slightly more conservative. He's been squeezed out of it.
Yeah, good win for Wales from that. Took the kick off. Good kick from Thomas Williams. Louis Rizame got the ball back, tapped it back. He's been good in the air actually today, and then a really good grass finder from Thomas Williams.
Untidy possession for Wales, but they get the ball. Johnny Williams crashes in to the Portugal defence. Ryan Elias around the corner. All Wales now. Johnny Williams, Portugal looking tired. Anscombe, pump fake to kick. Then is wrapped and choke tackle by 2 or 3, and did well to get the ball away to Jack Morgan actually. Chinza around the corner. Dummy run is Ryan Elias, but Thomas Williams is slightly isolated. And yeah, Wales forced to plunge into the tackle area to rescue the situation, and penalty against them.
Cause him to go off his feet.
I think there was both half-backs then. Probably trying to overplay. Gareth Anscombe got caught, nearly got held up, and Thomas Williams again. And I think it's more the lack of runners that he's got to come off there. Ryan lies on his own. He needs some better options. I think sometimes when you know there's space out wide, players get a bit lazy and just say, well, I'll just stay wide and wait for the ball. But actually you need to keep punching those holes.
It's how quickly you can find your three as a forward running around the corners. Where can you get to the next place where he's maybe lacking in numbers, or working off from the wide channel into the middle of the field? So
yeah, say there's too many individuals with one clear up, and that man misses, then you get turned over.
Francisco Fernandes, 38 years old, is rescued on the hour mark. He's pulled. Portugal on the attack. Appleton into Anscombe, up to the 22. 21 points to 3. Wales have the lead against Portugal. Simoesh, the number 8. Back in. Off his wing comes the talented substitute, Storti. Portugal with their best attacking period of the second half. Appleton, Storti again, the danger man off the bench. Portugal 15 metres in, 20 metres from the try line. They bring them right to left. White and green. Wales in black. Now they have width. Now there's an opportunity. Loose pass. Storti against Dyer. Good tackle, Rio Dyer. Mano a mano. Shepherded his man over the touchline, and it'll be a Welsh defensive lineup.
That's a good scramble defence from Wales. Didn't seem pretty comfortable. Portugal played some nice phases, but Wales didn't really look stretched. A little bit on that, but Rio Dyer did well. You'd be disappointed if he got rounded off, but Sorti, I think, was knackered. He's carried 3 times, one on the right side, one on the left, and again back on the right. So he's working hard coming off the bench. But a good defensive set, I'd say, from Wales out.
You just look comfortable. There's a solid line there, and they are attacking, coming hard to line, but it's just, you can see the boys are composed and relaxed, really. They're not really threatening us, I would say, as such.
No, I agree. And you'd be disappointed if they did break. I'm not sure how Portugal got the line out, because it definitely came on Stotti's leg. It should be Wales put in.
90 minutes left of this one in the Allianz Nice. Stotti again, loose pass by him. Still works out in Portugal's favour. Pinto yet to score a try. Harbos Lobos, the Wolves, that's their nickname. Another carry by the forwards. Adam being forced to work defensively. Knocked on, penalty. Big call for Marquez. What does he do?
Again, I'm disappointed Wales are getting an offside penalty away there. It's a soft one. There's only, 3 phases, and then they give a penalty of that away.
Marquez goes to the corner.
Can't give sides multiple opportunities, free throws with advantage, especially against better sides who you keep giving opportunities to the 22, they will score.
The hooker there smiling to the crowd.
Love it.
The Portuguese right in front of him.
Mike Taja looks up to the thousands of Portuguese supporters, screams for support. What a clever move at the front, and that roar tells you everything. Portugal celebrate a cleverly executed move. Wasn't even a front peel, it was an off the top ball, straight back down to Martins, and Martins scores a very, very neat try, and Portugal have their first.
Well, I said Wales looked comfortable, we thought they were fine, but what a well-worked play from the Portuguese. Went straight off the training ground, and you always felt it was coming. The way they was getting the crowd going right in front of all the Portuguese fans, perfectly executed, and straight over for the try, and the crowd literally went crazy, didn't they, as if they scored a goal in a European Cup final in football, the Portuguese. Crazy.
Have you seen a try like that before? Can you explain what happened?
Yeah, so they lifted in the middle, the 7 just held back, and then they just dropped it, just popped it forward, and it was a massive hole, because you think, they're going to drive it, all the forwards have migrated to the middle of the line out, and they've just dropped it off the top to Martez, and it's just a lovely finish. It's kind of like a walk-in, but I did say at the start they're going to bring something sneaky, and that's what they've had around line-out time. When every time they've come in the 22, they've had some sort of funny play, as we call it in rugby.
The groan tells you Marquez has missed the conversion. 21-8.
9 and 10.
So the lift is at the front and middle, and Martins is the front pillar at the front of the line now that he just gets the ball.
Surely the Welsh forwards would be looking at each other after that going, what happened there? There's literally 4 of them could have scored that.
Garth Anscombe is off. Sam Costello is on.
I think Anscombe would be a little disappointed with...
Double! Inside! Yeah, use it, please. Oh, number 6 white. 6.
Okay. Apologies that we've lost the line in France, and we'll get you back to Gareth Rees-Owen and the boys as quick as we possibly can to keep on top of the game here in Nice as Wales look to get past Portugal and seal this victory. This is Ian Hunt in Llanelli. I'm in the supporters village, packed arena, watching this match unfold on one big giant screen in the corner. We've got our commentary team back. Let's rejoin Josh, Nicky and Gareth.
Welcome back. Still Portugal possession. 62 minutes played. 21-8. We thought Wales are home drying in the changing rooms.
Discipline is key for Wales now. They're winning the battle. They're not getting over the gain line. Just don't need to give a penalty away.
Adam Beard looked like he was just about to do that. Back inside, the pass to Appleton. Portuguese bench is on. Storti is the danger man lurking in midfield. We mentioned him. The substitute. Forwards through the back door to Portela. Loops it out to Storti himself. Takes two defenders to bring him down. Appleton, the skipper, 12, receiving treatment. Sosesh, big hit on him. Wales forced to defend here.
Still haven't gone over that gain line. And now they do.
Now they do. The freight dash asking questions. Great pass in midfield. The final offload didn't quite go to hand. Now Wales, Circari didn't get that final pass away. And now Wales are having to defend.
Really good play from Portugal. I said they were patient, they kept punching short, and it was a lovely offload from one of the forwards right at the gain line, and there was an opportunity. We got one more offload in. Portugal might have been in, but the one-handed offload, the ball just slipped out and slipped forward. But definite opportunity for Portugal, and these are getting a little nervy because they've got the cushion of the two scored leads, but Wales definitely don't want to concede now, and obviously we're still looking for that bonus point.
13 minutes left in this one. I wouldn't say it's squeaky bum time yet. We were feeling relatively confident at the start of Bordeaux this time 6 days ago, weren't we?
That is true. Not sure Portugal have the firepower that Fiji have.
Still only two tries. Agreed.
Agreed.
And now it's the Wales scrum going back, and Ryan Elias claiming a penalty. Carl Dixon doesn't give it to him. Sam Costello looking to run from deep. He's a penalty away from conceding possession. Gareth Davis, Portugal tried to disrupt the ruck. Tane Basham back inside. Clearly the Portuguese will compete for everything here. Domachowski, Falatau. No shape to Wales right now.
Okay, take him back in.
And they can't go direct to touch, but Gareth Davis will be aware of this. Good high up and under by him. Portela beaten by Rio Dyer. Knock on by Portela as well. Wales possession. Dropped by Davis. Poor pass Thomas Francis. Untidy. 28 minutes so far in the second half for Wales.
Rio Dyer's been so good in the air tonight. He chases the ball so well, and every time he's got up, he's either disrupted or got the ball back. Again, he got up, timed the run. Obviously, the kick's got to be there, which it was from Gareth Davis, as they had been from Thomas Williams. But again, Wales get the ball back. It's a poor pass from Thomas Francis to Gareth Davis, but they still get the advantage. And their exits actually have been pretty good for Wales. They've gained lots of yardage when they have exited, and some have got the ball back.
Nice and balanced again, please. Let's go.
Big cheer for both fullbacks who are off the field. Lee Halfpenny. But I think the loudest applause is for Nuno Sosa-Getch, who certainly entertained us this evening.
He was sensational first half, wasn't he? He didn't have a lot to do second half, but really sets the tone when Wales, when the ball was loose, he could really do some damage.
The final 10 in what could be a tight group. Bonus points will be important. Gareth Davis down the blind side. Rio Dyer in space. Good tackle, Storti on him. Back to Gareth Davis. Over the touchline. Portugal ball.
Yeah, just we need to look after the pill. We're getting that big dent. We've made 20 odd metres. Just need to keep it infield, keep the ball on the path, and then we can play from there. It's just we don't need to score for first phase. I know we're chasing that bonus point now.
And that's the thing, and the boys will know the last 10 minutes we haven't really looked like scoring a huge amount with this half. We've had the one try from the pick and goes, but we actually looked more dangerous in the first half, I felt, and we said at half time actually this would be good for Wales coming into the second half, but they've been poor this half. I think the way they've looked after the ball has been disappointing. They haven't created those opportunities. Can't remember the time where we've gone more than 4 or 5 phases and been able to really stretch up Portuguese defences. It hasn't been the second half we were all hoping, or I was expecting to see from this Welsh side.
Dust falls at the Côte d'Azur and the floodlights are lit right up on the top of the roofs of the Allianz Arena. Home to Nice Football Club, home to Aaron Ramsey until very recently, before he returned to Wales with Cardiff City. Tomorrow, England will be here to play their latest game in the competition. But for now, Wales still have to survive. 2 further tries could win it for Portugal. But surely Warren Gatland would now be getting messages on saying they need that bonus point.
Yeah, it's going to come down to later stages in this group that this could hinder us if we don't get that bonus point, and ideally we need it. 10 minutes left, but you don't want to throw everything because it could cost us. It could get a breakaway try.
Yeah, we've got that 2-score buffer, which is important, but you're right, we haven't won this game yet.
Josh Adams is on as well, wearing 23, on for Lee Halfpenny. Marquez this time caught at the base by Adam Beard. Turnover ball. Wales possession in Portugal's half. Costello, crossfield kick to Josh Adams, overweighted. We'll come back for the knock-on advantage.
Yeah, I think that the option was right to go for that crossfield, with knowing that we have got a knock-on advantage, but we can play from this set piece now and build into a couple of phases and hopefully can get over that whitewash.
Yeah. Some referees do call advantage over when you do decide to do something like that, so it wasn't a penalty advantage, was it?
I'm not sure it was a knock-on either.
No, I thought it was off. I think it came off a Welsh hand, didn't it?
That was a knock-on.
Well, it was, but by which team? Anyway, Wales have got the scrum, and we're talking opportunities to get this bonus point. This is one. This is the 72nd minute. We've got a scrum just outside the 22 on the left-hand side. We've actually got 2 players down a very small blind side with Sam Costello and Rio Dyer. So there's Portugal don't actually have to change the way they're defending.
TMO agrees with us, Nicky. The referee's changed his mind. It's a Portugal scrum.
That's fine. I think that was the right decision, and that's what we've got TMOs for, and it doesn't really drag the game on. He's done that while the play's continuing, or the scrum's getting set, and then we just change it over.
72 minutes in Nice. Wales 21, Portugal 8. It's been scrappy. It's been uneven. And Portugal have come to dance. And they get a penalty taken by Marquez. Surprise, surprise, Portugal look to attack. And here's Pinto. Slightly across field. Need to straighten. Big crashing tackle in midfield, and Marquez with the offload. And he was spilled forward, actually.
I was surprised with Portugal tapping that there. They got a penalty, they can kick it down, get 40 easy yards. And then playing now, they're still stuck in their half with Wales put into the scrum, and to be honest, I'm happy here, comfortable, but
yeah, I guess that's the way they played all night, isn't it? Especially Marquez, that they tapped and gone, they've taken quick throws, and I guess if we look forward ahead, can Portugal create problems for Australia and Fiji. I don't know that they've shown that they've got the ability to score points. I know, look at the one try tonight. I guess it's been a penalty against Wales as well for an early tackle.
Tackle off the ball.
Well, Georgia in the same group as Portugal, and they were
13 black, taking
they
a man
won
off the ball.
25 successive games in the second tier of Six Nations Rugby until Portugal drew with them last year. So Portugal may well be targeting that Georgian game as their one big shot of getting a win. Marquesh this afternoon is finished, and he deserves a round of applause, and he will get a round of applause because he's an almighty player, and Portugal will plough on without him. Here they come again. Appleton, the skipper. Lukash is on for Marquesh. Lima with a carry. 6 minutes of play. The Freitas, stolen by Jack Morgan, just ripped it straight out of his hand. Bonus point hunting are Wales. Domachowski, Gareth Davis knocks it back. There's a Portuguese player down. Lewis Rees-Zammit breaks through. What about the gas he's got? Takes a step back. Offloads it to Gareth Davis. Gareth Davis with the support line. Gareth Davis with the score. That's the bonus points. It's not been pretty, but Wales have done the business in Nice. Lewis Rees-Zammit with the pace, with the vision. Gareth Davis with the finish. 4 tries, job done.
They might check this upstairs. Just Thomas Francis, he is holding his own, and there's a Portuguese player that hits him, offers that gap to Zammit, but I don't know, he's holding his ground, so I think he'll stand the try.
I think the referee just said it's fine. Great gas from Zammit. I thought he was going to really pin his ears back and accelerate again. He actually slowed up, and then it's a great ball to Gareth Davis. Was it Jack Morgan that had that turnover as well? Yeah, great, just ripped the ball out. Was it a one-handed flick from Zammit? Oh, it was, yeah. A nice out the back door flick.
Oh, hang on. TMO.
All right.
Marcus Jonker wants to call you. So we think it's going to be all about when Lewis Rees-Zammit makes the break, does Thomas Francis interfere with play?
I think they'll disallow this because Thomas Francis is moving and then he stops.
Okay, you're not on yet? You're not on yet?
Yeah, I feel like he's...
Right, ready? Here we go.
Here we go. There's Marcus Jonker. Gareth Davis shaking his head. So here's Lewis Rees-Zammit with the break.
So number 18 is in front of the ball and stops a potential tackle being made by the player coming across.
That's correct, yes.
And the action from Carl Dixon is to cross his arms in a negative manner,
Number 18
which indicates
in front of the ball.
no tries. Penalty for Portugal. 4 minutes left. Bonus point still floating in the air.
And that I guess, look at the bonus point. If Australia do beat Fiji and get a bonus point, then we're going to really struggle. Even if we win our other 2 games or we beat Australia, and if we beat Australia, then we're okay, aren't we? Actually, that won't come into it.
The worry is if Fiji beat Australia.
Yeah, that's going to win. It's all up for grabs, isn't it? Yeah.
Because if Fiji get a bonus point against Portugal, Australia get a bonus point against Portugal, Wales are in serious trouble.
Serious trouble. So this last 4 minutes could be huge.
Yes. Loose line out by Wales. By Portugal, I should say. Stolen by Wales. There are some tired bodies up there. Coaches speak about not thinking of bonus points, thinking of the win first. BP second. Gareth Davis goes for the kick. Josh Adams chases, takes a shot in his face. The boot hits him really hard in the chops. Now, I think the TMO will have a look here because a lot of things going on here. Pinto flew up in the air and he had a sort of karate kick up, leg leading, which caught Josh Adams in the face. Let's have a look at this now. Now, This is going to be a really interesting one. Are you allowed to jump with your foot leading karate style?
Well, his leg seems at quite an unnatural height, doesn't it? When his other leg is almost on the floor, and then the right leg that hits Josh Adams is at head height.
Here we go.
But he hasn't kicked out.
It's the momentum as he's coming down. His legs just stayed there and his body shifted down.
Yeah,
that's correct.
So,
14
it's nasty.
So do we see that as an unnatural position for the foot? That's got to be the question we're looking at. Yeah, so...
I mean, technically, this could be a yellow card both ways.
We've seen that as an unnatural position for the foot.
I mean, Josh is hopefully he's fine.
So it is foul play.
That could be really, really nasty.
Lucky he's hard as nails.
Can we get the number, please? Is that
Okay.
number 14?
That would
So
be number
Pinto-
14.
Number 14,
There's going to be a yellow card there.
Yellow card with threshold of full review.
And he'll be in the bunker. So he leapt up, caught the ball, but he led with his front foot. And as I described it, the best description would be a karate kick, wouldn't it? Or a Taekwondo J. Jones style kick. Of course, Josh Adams right in the chops. And with 3.5 minutes left, Pinto is off. And Portugal down to 14. And Wales have gone to the corner, but it's not a great kick by Costello.
That's a poor kick from Costello. He's got to get close on that. It didn't have a massive angle, but he's barely got to the 22. That changes the call for the forwards, I'm sure.
Elias. Sebastian would have seen Dewi Lake miss 3 successive lineouts just before he was taken off.
7 out now, 7 out.
21-8 into the final 3. Stade Denise. Nicky Robinson pointing. What are you pointing, Nicky?
They've got to go left. They've got numbers left. They've got to move it.
Indeed they do. Josh Adams gathers on the second attempt. He juggled and then he spilt it.
That is poor. That is really poor. The forwards have done what they need to do there, as in they've got a bit of momentum. They've pulled in a few of the Portuguese defenders. Portugal was so tight. You've got to back yourself to get outside of them there. They tried to go through him. It didn't run very smoothly at all. It ended up being a knock-on. That's poor from the Welsh backs. That really is.
Where's that call come from?
Well, it's not the call, it's how they've run it. That call, I don't mind with short runners, but they've got to have the ability to get out wide. Portugal are down a man in their backs. You've got to be thinking, right. In fact, telling Gareth Davis, look, you're not going to score from 20 out. If they get going, fine, but nudge it a bit and then give us the ball when we want it. Because they started to go blind, then Costello came back left. That's poor. That's a big moment. They should be not necessarily scoring from that, but definitely getting very close to the try line.
BBC Sounds, BBC Radio Wales, 5 Sports Extra, into the final 2. Portugal being squeezed at scrum time. Gareth Davis being a nuisance. Tane Basham is there as well. And it's been knocked on, and that loud screech must have come from a Welsh player because it's scrum for Wales. And here's a shot to put pressure on Portugal and claim that elusive bonus point, which seems quite valuable as we speak now, especially with Fiji Australia to follow tomorrow. To repeat, Fiji got 2 losing bonus points against Wales. So the argument would be, if Fiji beat Australia tomorrow, which is not impossible, and Wales lose to Australia, then it would be 3 teams having won all their matches and lost 1. That's not even mentioning Georgia, who are still to come, who may well be licking their lips looking at this right now. But bonus points are crucial, Josh Navidi.
Yeah, we need it for later on in the stage, but fingers crossed we can get it here now.
Advantage being played, scrum goes down. Gareth Davis peels off in the final minute. Costello dummies, breaks back inside. Portugal looking tired. Wales have been far from perfect, but they could get the perfect outcome. Davis under pressure, wriggles, brushes one defender aside, then he's flung to the floor. 15 metres out. Ryan Elias, long advantage here. Jack Morgan has to work hard. Little drive in by Domachowski. They've got numbers left. Portugal want the turnover.
Keep punching, they don't need to go wide here.
They do go wide though. Costello, Josh Adams on the loop, running out of space. Back inside, forced to pass, and Portugal knocked it on. and thankfully Carl Dickinson had played a 45-second advantage, and Wales will get a second opportunity here.
I just got to say, nice and tight with the first try, the half. When their forwards keep punching, they've got the power dominance. It wasn't on to go wide there. The decision making is poor at the moment from Wales. Just keep punching tight. Just be patient. You're going to walk it over.
It's just about patience in close to the Portuguese try lines. Patience through the forwards, and then if it does open up. But it showed last week with Fiji just trying to go out and then dropping that ball. The easy way is route one.
But they've got the penalty 5 metres out. The way the scrum was going forward, I'm thinking this ball should stay at Talupe Faletau's feet and not go any further than that. Either push over, get the penalty try, or he picks up and scores it.
Elliotty, Corey Domuchowski and Thomas Francis against David Costa, Lionel Camper and Diogo Haas Ferreira. It's a lightweight second choice Portuguese front row. Carl Dickinson knows that the clock is red here, and the scrum folds over after his whistle. Portugal have enjoyed themselves. They've got their try. Wales need one more try with a score 21 points to 8 to get the bonus point victory.
If they don't get the try now, it would be a bit of a downer, wouldn't it? I know even the performance hasn't been great, but if we get the bonus point, then at least you can say, look, that's what we needed. Lots to work on, but we've got that. I think we're towards continuing the momentum from last week. We need this bonus point try.
And that's what they would have spoken about in the week. Let the performance get us that bonus point. And it's come down to the last minute now. Try and get it.
Wales, solid scrum. Gareth Davies doesn't know where the ball is. Talupe Faletau heels, runs away, drives to the try line, and how fitting that Talupe Faletau gets the bonus points. He had so much work to do, and as the clock turns reds, Wales get their fourth try, and it's job done somehow against Portugal.
It just shows how strong he is when he carries off that base of scrum and in open field. Like how balanced he is. Oh, what's the ref going for?
What do we go? The referee wants another word here. Let's listen to Carl Dixon.
The yellow card has been reviewed off field. The yellow card has been reviewed off field. It's been upgraded to a red card for high degree danger, so it's going to be a red card.
Okay,
so that's still a try?
Yeah, that's a red to Vincent Pinto, who sticks his head in his hands. Red card for him, and as he looks up, he will see Sam Costello add the conversion to settle this game. It's been a victory for Wales by 28 points to 8. It was uneven, it was untidy, it was messy, but Josh Navidi, Wales got there.
Yeah, that's a massive thing. I know we speak about performances, but we would have gone into this game making sure that we get the win firstly, and then we get that bonus point for the group stage. And it was some real good positives to take from that. But then when we actually did change our mindset of putting it long, keeping pressure in their half, it favoured us. But then I think it shows every team. I say it all the time, the purple patch always comes, and it depends how you deal with it and how you flick that on his head. And it was good second half to show that we did play most of the rugby in Portugal's half.
Yeah, there were positives from it. I think, as I say, Chris Jones carried well, Johnny Williams did well, Zamil good, Rio Dyer was busy and got up when he had possession. But on the whole, I think there was too many errors in it. It was really scrappy. But look, it's a game we'll definitely forget about. But they got the crucial 4 tries and the 5 points, and that was the main point of tonight.
So 4 tries for Wales, 10 points from 2 matches. Victory against Fiji, victory now against Portugal. Final score here in Nice: Wales 28, Portugal 8.